Hello everyone, this is Zeke777 and welcome back to Ars Nouveau. Today we're planning on working on some infrastructure around here because we need power. We need to be able to power the mud generator over there, and anything else that we build is pretty much going to need essence. So that's a thing. Sorry, not essence, source. Essence is the other thing over there. My plan is to, at least for the moment, to power a lot of stuff off of just some crop fields here. Right now I've got 5 fields set up. It's just little 9x9s, that's all it is. I think I'll have another row of them down here. And I want to have this look like it's kind of just terraced down here for the farming out front. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. But in the meantime, we can at least get these 5 fields going, get some crops that are growing up on their own and being harvested automatically, and hopefully get enough power that we can actually get some mud from over there. Now, this is interesting. There is a mysterious cyan rune here at my base, which is slightly suspicious. I mentioned that, hey, there's a rune in my plaza. Zacharis says to step on it if I trust him. So I figured I should probably do this on camera. I don't know if I'm going to survive. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Oh, hello. At this point, Zacharis gave me a quick tour of his base, including such things as his storage system, which is just shulkers. He showed me a cool bow that he made, which has the blast effect on it, which is kind of cool from the pomegranate. Yeah, he killed me a few times. Apparently, you are able to have the warden as an effect, which is kind of cool, and he of course showed me his warden generator? Farm? Whatever you want to call it. It was quite the sight to behold. It was a little noisy as well with all the fireworks going off. But let's get back to the video. Had a lot of fun playing with Zacharis, and we are back at our base now to get some more stuff done. And the first thing I want to do is, something I've been meaning to do for a while, is I want to upgrade my tools. So, Diamond Sword, we're going to upgrade you to an Enchanter Sword. That way I don't have to repair you and it hits a little bit harder. We'll deal with enchanting it later, but for now, this will work. Thank you. And the next thing that I need is actually, for the actual infrastructure of our base, I need a couple more of these collector relays so that I can actually power things. So let's head up to our power plant, which is of course a wheat field. So what I'm going to do here is we've got lots of wheat growing. I'm going to have some other plants growing in here as well. My plan is I think what I'm going to do is maybe shut off. I don't really want to shut off the harvesting. I should probably actually just route it somewhere else for like composting or something. I don't know. I'll figure that out later. But we got ourselves a bunch of these ritual braziers. So we're going to pop one right there. If I run on this, whatever. Plop those down there, and I've got the materials. At least I thought I did. Apparently not. Let's turn you into a touch and craft here. One moment. There we go. Let's get ourselves, I need at least 2 of these. 1, 2. Couple iron hose, and I need some tablets of harvest. 2 of these, please. Thank you. These stack, but the hoe doesn't. Okay, so we're gonna put you in there, tablet of harvest, and right there. Right now they're not doing anything because they're not activated yet. If I do activate them, it's gonna basically harvest everything, like it says. The first harvest, it's worth noting in any of these rituals, does not cost any source. That may be useful, it may not be, I don't know. And then we also need our actual power. Let's see, these are 9x9, so it's going to be an even number between them, so probably these 2 blocks looks like. Let's stick our agronomic source link right here. Perfect. That should be able to reach this whole field, and this field, and maybe even some of the sugarcane over there. We'll have to check that out. That might not be... It's a little bit smaller than I was expecting before, so whatever, we'll do this. 4 of these should be fine. These can all reach, that's all good. And let's get ourselves a couple chests. And I'm just gonna put it on the side here, right there. Perfect. And we are going to then activate. Cool. So all the wheat and seeds are in here, and now this will start generating power as these try to grow back. Perfect. Same with you. We'll put you right here as well. Facing that way, just to match. Right click you to activate, and there we go. So we now have a bit of source generation that is working. So we need a collector relay, and I'm just going to put this right here. And that is actually going to send up to this tower. So I haven't really figured out the main, like, where I'm going to put everything, but I think if I center things on these towers, I think that'll be kind of a fun project. So let's do a depositor relay right here, and we'll put a few jars around this. Doesn't really matter how many. For now, we'll just do 8. It's probably good. I hope that this is within range. It may not be. Let's go ahead and find out. So I want from you to you. Does that work? That does work. Perfect. Okay, and what we can also do is this can also send 2 jars. So I think what might be worth doing in this case is if I stick a jar on top of each of these, then they will always have power. And we're going to do that by saying from you to you. Can you send to multiple? No, you can only send to 1. Then you have to go through a splitter. Okay. Let me think about this. Alright, well, 4 quartz, 4 lapis gets us a splitter relay, so I'm going to plop this on top of that one, and then I can relink everything. Okay, so you can go right there. Thank you. You are going to be bound to this one. Sounds good. You are then going to be sending to this one, and to this one. And also the rest will go up here. It'll try to, I think, evenly distribute this based off of, or probably not even evenly. I believe it's going to try to fill that one first. And you know what's happening? That is within range. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it can do, I guess, a 9 by 9 or a 11 by 11 around it, maybe? That's a little annoying. Okay, so I think if I put this instead here, so you can go away, it won't look as cool with the light not shining through it, but whatever. We will link to you. Take you off as well. Actually, let's put there, then place it there. So if we send you over here, is everyone happy? Maybe. Are we getting any growth? Okay, so that's going to go over there. Good. It looks like, because this one has 8% fill. This one's at 0. These are all 0, of course. That's setting up there. I think this will work. We'll let it sit for a little bit and see how it goes. Alright, this seems to be working. What I did was I actually cleared the splitter connections and reconnected it down to here. And then this one, or I guess that one first and then this one over here. And it looks like what it does is it goes based off of the order that you add them. So it's going to try to fill this one first and then fill this one and then it'll start filling up top there, I believe. In fact, let's grab our wand and just double check real quick. From you to, can we get our flight please? There we go. And if I link you up here, you should still be sending down there till that one's full. Yes, it is. Okay, perfect. Next up, we're going to go ahead and do the same thing down on this plot of farmland as well. And I'm just going to kind of place these here so I have something to place that against. And ritual goes there. Ritual goes here. Now this, I believe, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 away, so I can put the jar on top of it. I think that's going to be better here. So we'll put a jar right there. Jar right there. And right here as well. And let's see, we need the actual tablets still, and we need our chests. These I'm going to put on this side. It doesn't really matter, but my plan is I'm going to have a Starbuncle later on who's going to be moving everything around. So this way he can just run along there, pick up things from those chests, and pick up things from up top here, and put them in one big chest, probably right here. In fact, let's do that. Break that one, and throw everything in here. Now, one thing that I should point out is these rituals can actually pull from pretty far. In fact, I bet they could probably all pull from like this one here. The problem is though, that is too close to the collector, so it's going to just kind of keep cycling back and forth again. So I'm doing this to ensure that each of these will always have power, and they won't end up draining it entirely by pulling up to there and then sending it to my main, like the entire rest of the city. Because this is going to be powering the whole city. At least we'll see if it will. We'll see. But let's put a bunch of these guys in so that they can start growing as well, and hopefully get ourselves a little bit more power out of that source link. I suppose I should also point out that I don't actually need this much wheat. I'm not using it for anything besides making the mud bricks, which, granted, I am going to be using a lot of, but not this much. This is way too much. In fact, I'm planning on mostly either voiding or composting it, and the rest I'm going to be selling to villagers to get some emeralds, or at least the easy villagers, whatever it is. Let's grab some carrots as well. Same with carrots and potatoes. I don't have a direct use for these at the moment. They are pretty much just for selling and for, in this case, generating the source. So we're going to plant all these. I need to pick up some of the mage bloom as well. I've got a bunch of those seeds sitting around. You should be in my seed box. Yes, perfect. These will give us a lot more source. I have even less of a use for these at the moment. I will use them for things like... you know, I can't actually look up from this. Yeah, I can't look up from there. You can use the fibers from that for a few different things, mostly just the parchments, spell parchments and stuff like that, but I don't use that many of them. If I were to have my storage based off of like allow scrolls, then I'd use a bunch of them in there, but I'm not planning on doing that, so for the most part I don't really need it. Most of this is going to end up getting voided or composted, and it's purely for source generation. You know, one thing I think I'm going to do instead is I'm actually going to break this, and you as well. And what I'm going to do is kind of centralize these a little bit more. That way I don't have to wait for basically a jar for each of these, because that's a lot of waiting. Can I put it there? Nope, sand fell. Okay. We'll put you here instead. And I would have rather used the full jar, that's okay. And we will instead clear you, send you down to here. Perfect. And that will be enough that this guy can reach. So break you, don't need that. Or you. Or you. And over here, I think they can all pull from the same one over here. So if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, this one here should be far enough that it won't start cycling back into itself. And we'll do the same thing here, and that should be able to reach it just fine. So which of you is full? You've got 5, 16, 100. We'll take the 16. Break both of those. Place our jar, hop on up, and replace our sand. Okay, I think that'll work. I think that'll be a little bit cleaner as well. There's less things sitting up here on the surface that you can see, because I want it to be, you know, more hidden, I guess. In fact, you need to be linked still. You send to here. That way I only have 2 jars down here instead of 5. I guess, and then the extra ones here, which are basically just kind of a backup battery. Next up, you will send to up here. Perfect. And for now, I am going to leave the extra spaces there empty. If we have a lot of other things that we want to grow, we can put them in here as well, and we can just basically just slot them in and it'll just work. I don't really have anything else yet, but we do have crop. We have Croptopia in here, so there's a lot of things we can grow. And we may decide to grow some more things later. Soybeans, for instance, we can use those to make soy milk instead of trying to milk cows, which I don't think we currently have a method of doing. We used to, but that the bookworms, which kind of used to, they weren't really reliable, so they don't work anymore. So we can always grow really anything else we would like. We have room, so we will be able to expand, and I might also go one more crop field that way. And I can do another row beneath it there as well if we want. But I think that is going to work for at least basic source generation. Once the 2 jars down there are full, we will start sending it up here, and then from here we can send it to the rest of the city. And as far as our generation over here at our starting camp, it's probably going to go away. So the cactus here, I might move that underground underneath those crops, just so I can share the same agronomic source link over there and just have it kind of join up with everything else. This produces quite a lot of power. In fact, right now it's just overflowing. So that is a good system. I don't have really any use for the cactus though. It's pretty much just for generating power. And this little field over here is going to go away. I'm just going to turn this back into being sand, Probably not today. Later on I'll do that. I still want to build a like a temple type thing here around the floating sand. I just think it's kind of a fun build project, but we do need to remove the crop field in order to do that. Next up, these guys here, source berries. I want to get some of these guys automated as well. One, they generate a lot of power, and two, I can also use them to make food such as source berry rolls. So let's see where we can add that in over here. Alright, so if I remember, the agronomic source link can pull from a 13 block spherical radius. And number 13 is this block out here. I'm just going to kind of assume it's going to be a roughly circle at this point. Technically it's one, actually no, it is even with this level, so it's probably somewhere around here. I'm not going to care too much. Mostly what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just kind of cover this whole area with dirt, and we'll kind of build a small little, maybe a ramp type thing. In fact, this is the wrong level. I want you down here. Dirt, you can go back right here. And we'll go out a little bit as well. This will kind of give a little bit of a slope for the starbuncles to go up and down as well. I think it'll work. And then this can all be turned to dirt. That was not the right one, but it'll work. And let's get rid of this wall that we accidentally made. Too many spells, and I haven't labeled any of them. Okay, so kind of like that, and I'll go down another layer as well. But I want to see, are you going to get any source from these guys? Yes, it did. I didn't even have to wait for that one. Perfect. Okay, what if I go one further? Will you? Alright, well if it gives me source or not, I'm not even really going to bother. I'm going to put a mycelial source link here, and I'm going to put, I guess our jar is right there anyway, but that's okay, we'll just ignore it. Let me go grab a pedestal, which I don't know if I have one already in waiting. I don't think I do. You know, I do. Perfect. And I also need a hopper. Do I have a hopper? I have a hopper in here. Perfect. Thank you. And let's head back over. Okay, so let's try to not trample our crops there. If I put a pedestal right there and a hopper next to it, aimed into it, like so, we can stick a chest on top of there. And what we can do then is, once we get our starbuncle, which I need to make a few more, we can have him deposit all of the source berries into here. And I think I'll just do a probably an item frame and a allow scroll on that one. Then I can have the same starbuncle drop everything else off. So like if he's sitting over here because he just dropped off a potato, he'll see that a source berry grew, he'll run over here and grab it, realize where the source berry goes, and bring it back over here. I think that should all work. I also lowered this one so that even if this is filled with the source berry bushes, he can still go over here and hop up to get to the chest. I think that should work. Let me go make a few starbuncles. And at this point, I'm getting close to wanting to just automate this as well. I can just stick some hoppers into the pedestals and have a starbuncle pull from the apparatus, and that works pretty well for bulk crafting items here. It's pretty simple to set up. I just didn't feel like doing it right now. Swap you, and a few more. Okay, Mr. Starbuncle, you have lots of jobs. Mainly, you are going to be storing in this chest. And specifically, you're going to be storing, stick an item frame on there, you are going to be storing source berries there. Good job, already working, perfect. Next up, you are also going to be storing items over here. And I'm hoping, because you're told to do the berries over there, I'm hoping that you'll just realize berries don't go in this chest. In fact, let's find out. Seems to work. Okay. I'll plant the rest of these later after I'm not walking through here. Next up, you need to pick up from each of these chests. Thank you. And I already set you to the other chest, so you should just be good to start working. Okay, he's set to pull from 5 different locations and store in either here or over there. I think that's all good. Sugarcane, you can go back to the other storage with me. I'm just putting that temporarily there. And Starbuncle over here can deal with these. Thank you. And I think that should be a working system here. In theory, the mycelial link, which is now going to be completely empty, yep. This should be storing either down there or over here. And the one down here should pretty much always be filled to 100% anyway. So it should just send most of the power to this one, which will be picked up by the collector and sent away to the top of the tower. I think that's working. Now that I got all of those set up, and we can fly, so I'm just going to fill in the rest of this. It might leave a little bit of a pathway there for him, so he can get around. I wonder if I should have an empty row there so he can hop up. I feel like they can't hop if they're in a sourceberry bush. I'm not entirely sure though. We'll see if that works. One nice change with the harvest rituals instead of before with a bookworm harvesting everything is it doesn't harvest instantly. I know that seems kind of like a negative, but what happens is it takes a while and it only does it every few seconds. It'll harvest everything. What that means is one little Starbuncle here, he can try to grab as much as possible and it will only slowly start filling these up. For instance, right now he's going to get distracted because now there's a single wheat and 3 wheat seeds. Meanwhile, I've got 2 stacks of potatoes down in this chest. So I'd rather him be able to pull from all of them to be able to pull more items at once. And since it takes a little while between harvests, it means that this one here is going to be empty and he can go to the next chest. In theory, he should be able to do quite a bit. We'll see if he's able to keep up with this whole field. I'm kind of thinking he may not be able to, but we'll see. And now that the functional is all set up, I want to take a look at what we can do for the aesthetics. I don't like this retaining wall. I thought I would, but I don't. So I'm going to see if I put a row of mud bricks all along here. Let's remove all of these, which are kind of a pain to remove anyway. I'm going to leave the jars underneath there because they can still remain hidden. And if I put these here, I'm able to walk up, I'm able to walk down, ideally not trampling the crops, but maybe we'll just leave these bottom ones blank. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, I think it's all working. I like the mud bricks as the retaining wall instead. We've got a little bit of a stair we can walk through here. Makes it easier for us, as well as I think a little bit easier for this guy here. You have a job to do. There's still chests over there that are full. Go. Yeah, I'm thinking we may need more than one of these guys. These chests over here, he hasn't even gotten to once, so these are completely full. Well, obviously they're not full, but he hasn't come over here yet. Meanwhile, he's getting distracted by the extra chests up top here. Is that a poison potato? It was. Cool. And also then the source berries. So it's working, it's just, I think, a little too much work. That's fine, we have more. So we're going to plop you down, and you also, I think we have, from Instrumentum, we have the Scroll of Save Starbuncle. What this does is basically we can basically connect it to that guy, and it'll just remember what he is linked to, and that way we can just come over and say, oh look, here's a new Starbuncle, give you it as well, and he'll just know everything all at once instead of having to link it manually. Really useful, especially for larger storage systems. And interesting to note, it creates 2 of them, however they are not stackable. Yeah, even when blank, so that's fun, I guess. Let's see, let's wait for you to come back over here. Or at least anywhere. Can I just get you while you're running? Saved Starbuncle configuration. There's no sorts of label on here, but it has an empty space there, so it looks like there's a tag that's saved. Next up, you over here. If I just right click on you, no. Because that saved it again. Let's grab from you, and then I would assume shift click on you. Applied Starbuncle configuration. Alright. 2 you guys to work now. Perfect. Seems to be working. Yeah, go over there. Well, I'll keep an eye on it. Worst case scenario, I can always run a hopper line underneath these and just send them all over to one more centralized storage and go from there. So I may end up doing that depending on how these two guys work out. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on it kind of off camera. I'll look over here every so often and see if this is full. It's so far not working. So I think that's a good spot. Let's see what else we've got going on, and our storage up here is definitely filling up. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5.5 that are full, 5 1/3 rather. That's not too bad. Okay, so I got a kind of fun idea here for the berries. I think what I'm going to do is move this part of it more centralized over here by the output chest there, and have its own agronomic source link. I think that'll be fine, and I'll just, have it over here, isolate from over there. And I found kind of a fun pattern here that can do with the stairs and the dirt. I think it works. Maybe. We'll see. I'm just kind of having fun just kind of playing around with it and seeing what I can come up with that looks nice and also makes sense for connecting with the actual road over here. And so it's sort of a garden area off to the side, and then, the main city entrance. I think this is kind of a nice thing. Maybe. We'll see. And then what I might do is I might move that output maybe more centralized over here. Maybe. I might also drop that whole thing underground there, so it's just the stuff that's on the surface here. I don't know. I'm going to kind of play around with it, like I said. Next up, let's go ahead and break this guy because I don't have any more berries because someone keeps stealing all of them. So let's turn that off, and I'm going to kind of build more of this pattern. Okay, I'm kind of curious here. If I put a chest down and I have a ritual brazier on top of it, can I open you? No, I cannot. Okay, that's an important first step. Second step is if I put, say, mud brick stairs in there, why not? And we'll put another chest right here. And I put that on top. Now I'm assuming this will not work, but we'll find out. If I tell you that you have a job of take from this chest and store in this chest, will you do it? Interesting. So even though I cannot reach that, you can. Interesting. Okay. So I'm taking a look over here, and I'm thinking that I need to rework some things. And I think what I'm going to do is move most of the starbunkles underground, and have them just all pull from, I'll put the chest directly underneath each of the harvest rituals, and the starbuncle can then pull from it to a central chest underground, probably accessed through the wall here. I think that will work, and then I'll have dedicated starbunkles out here that are harvesting the berry bushes. I think that will work. It'll clean things up a little bit here because the chest will be underground. It'll give me an extra space for a crop in each of these. The chest can be waterlogged, so that's fine. I think that's probably my best bet. What do you... Oh, because you're... Thanks. Very helpful. You need to be, dispelled. Dispelled. Alright, we are now underneath the farmland up above there, and I've put a chest underneath each of these. And are you gonna let me... You're not going to let me place it directly in there. That's going to be difficult. Okay, so let's see. What about like that? No. Is there already a light in there? I know a recent change allows us to waterlog lights. I was hoping I could still place it in there though. Oh right, let's remove sensitive. There we go. Touch sensitive, yes, that will target water blocks, which is what I was not wanting to do. I was wanting to place it in the target block, or in the water block rather. Okay, by doing this, it's preventing it from flooding everywhere. It's still hydrating the crops up above there, and this will allow us to get a starbuncle under here. Let's fill these in. We can just use sand. So starbuncle should be able to hop up here and grab from the chest. We'll just add a little bit of a walkway for him. And same with up here. And last but not least, over there. Okay, so with that, Starbuncle should be able to pull from all of those and deposit in one master chest up here, which should be accessible from behind this wall. I think that will work. We'll see. Meanwhile, these guys down here are going to be completely distracted by harvesting all the berries, which is fine. Alright, you two, your job is going to be storing things in this chest. And you also in here. Okay. Next up, you guys need to pull from all of these. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to target this first one here, and then I can just apply all the settings to the other one. I think that will work. No, get back here, get back here. No. No. You will get blocked off with some sandstone because I don't want you out there. Thank you. Stay in here. Okay, and saved his configuration. Apply it to you. You can get to work as well. And I'm just going to drop off everything else from the chest that were out there. Is there anything in here that does not belong? Yes. You do not belong. You do not belong. You do. Okay. I think that'll work. Outside here, I've already switched these guys over. Let's go to our door. I already switched these over to just being on berry duty, so I think that is working. I need to put another agronomic link over here. I think I've got, I can just take this one. I don't need it anymore. Long break time. Okay, and this I'm just going to put right over here as well. We'll put it right there. The jars are underneath there. Phantoms, you are not invited to this party. Okay, so Phantoms are gone. I think I'm going to put the source link actually underneath here, because I don't actually need to see it. And meanwhile, I will then put the stair on top, like so, only not like so. Like so. And we'll put a source relay on top of that. So this will grab from the jar underneath here, from you to you, and from you to up here. Perfect. So that will get it from both the mycelial as well as the agronomic from these guys. Patch you up, and we can put our 9 berries right here. Perfect. And that chest is going to go away entirely. I need to figure out how to continue this pattern up on that layer there. It's kind of a different pattern. Maybe I'll just turn that back to sand or something. I don't know. But I think everyone's working now. We've got 2 starbuncles here who are just working on berries. So they're just going to, as soon as they're grown, they'll deposit them in here. So far we're getting a little bit of a profit. That's good. Of course, it was a full jar, so that's probably why. Over here, these are all getting, the source goes to there, goes underground, goes to the jar underneath there to these links, and then back up to here. In fact, I only have 1 jar under here now. Do I even need a collector? I don't think I need a collector anymore. You're gonna send to the jar. Splitter's going to send to a jar over there and a jar over here, and then up top there, I don't actually need a collector here. In fact, I think I'm going to move the source link itself to be underground as well. We'll stick our splitter right here, and you're going to fill the jar. We're going to go from this jar to the splitter, from the splitter to that jar, from the splitter to this jar, and from the splitter up to the top of our tower. There we go. And that means that we can actually hide all of that and really clean up this whole area. And once again, I am successful at placing stairs. Right there. Cool. Okay. I like that. It's a lot cleaner. I don't have the tall tower of all the source stuff there. I can fix all of that with our wonderful stone hoe here. Fix that one as well. Hopefully walking down the stairs won't trample the crops. I don't think it will. But I like this. It's a lot cleaner, and it should be just as functional. I won't have to go outside of the town in order to grab any of the crops. I can just get it from inside there. This here, I think I'm fine just leaving all the berries right here for now. If we need any more later, we can just come along and pick up, you know, a few stacks if we need, but I think that'll work. In an effort to add a little bit of color here, I don't know if it's a good idea or not, probably not, but we'll see. I'm going to spread the mycelium. So the mycelial source link creates mycelium. So this middle one's going to be purple anyway, unless I specifically make it something else. So we'll see. I'm going to let this spread to the rest of these, and we'll just kind of see what that looks like. It might be interesting. It might not be. We'll see. Generally, I'm pretty happy with how this is turning out. There's not much color is the problem. Like I said, that's why I'm trying with the purple there. We'll see. The deep green of the source berries kind of is a little out of place in the desert here, but it's also thin enough that it doesn't really, like, it's not like a solid color. I'm not really sure. We'll see. I'm still not sure that I'm happy with how I'm tying this into the main stairway here. I really originally kind of envisioned this as just sand, but then I started doing this. Maybe we'll see. I might have to put like just a full retaining wall along here, so it just kind of blocks off entirely, and maybe just one path to get over here, maybe at the top or something. That chest isn't going to be there anymore, so I don't need access to it. This one here, I might occasionally need access to, but not very often. We'll see. But I like it. I like it. These over here, I think, are all working. At least I haven't seen things just floating anymore, so that should be good. This is slowly filling up, and everything down here should just be working. Why are you not? What are you doing? Do I need to individually link you, or are you happy with this? No? You're getting to work? I'm wondering if it is seeing the berries over there and getting distracted, and I think that might be the case. So what we can do in that case is if we grab our redstone box, because this is a redstone component of course, let's grab a mimic scroll, and that way these guys will only grab what is already here. You, thank you, and you as well. That way, since there are no berries in here, they shouldn't get confused in trying to put berries in here. So they should just ignore them if they're on the ground. I think that would solve that problem. And I think the last thing we're going to do today is change something. So someone asked me the other day, what is the vertical range on the Ritual of Harvest? And I said, well, I don't know, let's find out. And so, of course, with science, we found out that it can actually harvest if this is underground. Specifically, if you could put the waterlogged chest on the top of the ritual brazier, and the ritual itself would be underground, which would hide most of these sparkles, lovely particles, as well as we could then, instead of it being a waterlogged chest, we could just have like a slab or something there. We could easily move the entire thing underground, and should make it a little bit easier for our starbunkles here, as well as for us to come over here and monitor what all's in here, because right now I don't think I can even monitor it. So I'm going to try that. And I think what we're going to do then is, if I move that, if I put a chest, why am I not carrying my chests in here? No. Also, that's a slight bug where the screen kind of moves to one side. It's because of the way that the little like tooltip is displayed there. It shifts the entire GUI, which is kind of weird, but okay. Let me grab my inventory. I think it's outside here. Right, I don't have chests on me. I'm not blind. I didn't see any in here. Oh, I have 18 in here. Yes. Okay, so a few chests. Let's go ahead and put these down right. So if that's there, I could have the chest up top, I could have the chest on the bottom or on the sides, but if it's on the sides, I can't open it because of the farmland there anyway. Let's put it in front. No, because then I can't open it. Wait. Oh, I can open it because farmland is not a solid block. Okay, I like that. Let's put these in place, and then we're just gonna move it. And one thing is you can do this with carry-on. If you, okay, this is gonna be a problem. Break you. I'm gonna break the light because the thing needs to go there. And shift right click. Nope. Shift right click. I know I can do it. Let's just break the chest. Pick you up. Can I not pick you up if I'm swimming? Interesting. Okay, so pick you up. Let's hop down here and place you against the chest. There we go. Tablet of Harvest is right there, and there's 4 carrots in there already. So it does work. It can harvest from up above there. I'm going to do that to all of these. Actually, let me go see what that looks like first. As well as I think I'm going to replace the top here with a slab of some form. Mud brick would make sense. I like that because it's a lot cleaner. I don't see nearly as many particles, and you don't see the giant flame on top. So I think that looks good. Let me go do that. Well, I am quite happy with this whole setup. We've got 3 different sources of source here. We've got an agronomic in the middle here, getting from all of the actual crops. We've got an agronomic that's getting sourced from the berries, as well as mycelial, which it looks like it is backed up. That's actually because if we go up here, we're full. 8 jars full. 8 is not that many, to be honest. We're going to need more than that eventually, but for, at least for now, for a kind of centralized storage location, I think that'll work. And from there, I'll probably end up using warper relays to send it throughout the rest of the city. But I like the idea of having everything be up in towers here. So there'll be a warper relay from here that will send to, say, another tower, maybe like right here in the middle here, that can send to all the buildings around it. I'll have another one somewhere over here that'll send to its buildings. I kind of like that idea. It just seems like a fun way of distributing the power. It's still gonna be just warpers, so it's still gonna be, there's gonna be some source cost to upkeep that, but I like it. I think that'll be good. I'm really happy with what we got done here. I still want to do more decorating, but I can just do that off camera. It's kind of like small details here and there. I added a little bit of water. I'm not sure if I like it or not. I'll play around with it for a little bit. I'm not sure how to integrate it in with the bottom here, as well as the current sugarcane, but we're going to need a little bit more sugarcane anyway, so I'm probably going to move this field somewhere else. I'm not sure if we can get from agronomic. We may move it underneath here. If not, then we'll move the cactus farm underneath here as well. But I'm quite happy with this. I hope you enjoyed, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.